Aloha friends, I'm inspired to make a video talking about the 10-year death anniversary of my best friend Deb Hubsmith. Just this past weekend, August 18th, 2025 was a 10-year death anniversary of my best friend. She died at the young age of 46, and I have some thoughts I want to share regarding having a friend that dies very young. So first of all, as you can imagine, I was thinking about how there's all these young rock stars who died young: Janis Joplin, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison. How we think of these people die young, and they're encapsulated at this very, very young age. And so Deb, in my mind, is always like 45 years old. She's never growing old. She's always this young, beautiful self. And it's a very bizarre thing that 10 years has passed. Time is a very strange thing because it doesn't feel like it's been 10 years. When she first died, my heart was torn to pieces. Absolutely devastated. We were best friends for 19 years. She was this friend. I could tell her anything. We had this sort of connection where we would leave to meet each other, to go to a dance event or whatever it may be, and we'd be wearing the same exact clothes or same exact color schemes, and we wouldn't be planning it. And people called us like twins. We looked like people thought we were sisters. So she felt like a very deep soul ally to me. So when she died, and here I am 10 years later, I still cry talking about it. So let me digress a little bit. Part of my mission for talking about grief and death is to demystify it, because there is so much shame around the topic. And so me sharing my tears is not to draw sympathy or pity. It's more to say, like, hey, if you are grieving the loss of your dear friend, your partner, your dog, your house, your brother, your sister, it's valid to be in a state of grief, for however long you need, And so here I am 10 years later, and I obviously still crack up talking about her because she was such a dear sister to me. So I'll just keep talking through my tears just so you know that I'm real, and this whole grief experience is a real thing. But part of what struck me for this 10-year death anniversary was that, although I am crying right now, the day came and went. It was more like, wow, it's been 10 years since she died, but I wasn't capsized by grief. The first many years, it was really hard, and I had to plan these special days for her birthday or death anniversary because I knew they would be rough days. Oh, I need to take a break. I'll be right back. I'm back. I knew I would probably crack up making this video. When you end up talking about things, that's when the emotions come out. So thanks for holding space for me as I emote and share. So this death anniversary was more, I am a mermaid here in Kaua'i, and I had a special mermaid meetup with my mermaid friends here on the island. So I was focused on that. It was a really beautiful day, and I wasn't caught up in grief. Another thing I might like to add is that I've had many people die in my life. Many of my friends besides Deb have died young from cancer. It's been really tragic and heartbreaking. And just to share, to get off topic again, but to give you the full picture in case you don't know, 1 year after Deb died, almost exactly to the day, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. So it's been almost 10 years, or 9 years, of being on this breast cancer journey. And I almost died from that too. 6 years ago, I was referred to hospice with cancer throughout my body, which I talk about in my book, Grace, Grit, and Gratitude: A Cancer Thriver's Journey from Hospice to Full Recovery. with the healing power of horses. And Deb is a big portion of my book, actually talking about my grief process with her. I published this book in 2021, 5 years ago. So you can read more about my connection with my bestie there, and the cancer journey, and my connection with horses. But as I was saying, there's been lots of people who have died in my life, and the next round of grief, besides Deb and a dear family friend, was my mother in 2021, November, from cancer, and that was heartbreaking, but it was also to be expected. She was declining for a long time, so I had time to grieve her. But then 4 months, and this is where tears come again, 4 months after my mom died, my dad died, and that was unexpected. And my dad and I were very close, and my brother and I only knew he was going to die like 3 weeks before he died. So I had no time to prepare, and I was caught up in, everything that had to be done after my mom died, plus helping my dad out, which was very difficult, and I don't want to go into that, but it was very physically and mentally challenging. So my parents' deaths and the grief around them and all the things that needed to be done with handling their estate and their paperwork, that has been a whirlwind for many, many years. It's been almost 4 years since my mom died, 3.5 years since my dad died, and I honestly feel like I'm getting on my feet again. I got into mermaiding after they died, and that pretty much pulled me out of my depth of my depression and my grief, which I'm so grateful for, just like the horses did many times in my life. So it was very interesting sitting with the death of Deb's anniversary and really thinking about, like, wow, Deb died, and there was so much deep grief I had to go through, and I've processed so much, so now her death anniversary can come and I'm not knocked over like I was. But my dad's death anniversary, March 22nd, like, that's a very hard day for me now. So it just shows you what happens. Grief comes in waves, and it's obviously harder closer to the time of it, and time does heal all wounds, but it still affects you. These people that you have loved and lost, like, they're still with you. They're still present with you. But that grief never goes away, because if you love deeply, you're going to grieve deeply. There's so many great sayings like that, like, an evidence of deep love is deep grief. And it is okay to grieve deeply, because it is a normal, healthy thing to grieve, and that is something that our culture does not support. So I'm here to say, please, grieve, get it out, scream, cry, reach out to people, do grief rituals. This is a very healthy thing to do. Whew, okay. So another thing I would like to talk about in this video, talking about grief and the passing of time, is the gift of new life. So just recently, my first grandchild was born. Yes, I'm a grandmother. I'm a grandmer. That's what I call myself. And that's been a very healing thing that I'm so grateful for. So it's so interesting with the passing of time. Like, death is a reality, birth is a reality. We are all gonna die, and there is great beauty in that. Like, there is also great beauty in the fact that death died young. I mean, I would give anything to be old ladies with her. We talked about that, but this was not her fate. And I try to find the beauty in the situation, even though it tore my heart out when she died. And, I'm never ever going to have another friend like her again. I mean, I love my friends, but, we had a very rare special occasion, and I was so blessed to have her as a friend. But this is a very real thing. Life and death are intertwined, like the whole Buddhist belief, like you can't have one without the other. So one of the things I realized that was quite profound when Deb was dying, because it was just right there in my face. She, you know, she was a very petite woman. She was about 115 pounds, but when she died, she was a 65-pound skeleton. It was really hard to see her body decay like that, but there was also great beauty in it. So, you know, this is what is real, this life and death, and none of us can escape it. So the more we can accept death, the more we can truly live life fully. That was one of the gifts I learned from Deb, is that to live fully, you have to embrace death fully. I want to give that to you too, and just think about that, because, you know, it is a gift to be in a body, even in these crazy times. And even if you are going through a health diagnosis or whatever it may be, there is still so much beauty to be found. I guarantee you that it's there. And yeah, just a little bit more about my grandbaby. It's such a gift now. She's such a healing presence, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity to witness that, because personally, I never thought I'd be alive to see my grandchild being born. So I'm just embracing it all fully and feel like these beloveds are like standing behind me, you know, Deb and all the others have gone, my mom and dad, and they're like sending love from behind the veil and really blessing us up in their own way. So if you are grieving somebody you love, I encourage you to tune into their spirits, because often, this is more esoteric, but often spirits stick around to make sure their loved ones are still okay. I've seen that with other people and their beloveds when they've passed, and I've felt that with my beloveds too, and that's been verified by psychics. So thanks for listening to my video, my vulnerable teary video, sharing about Deb's death and grief and just being really present to life. So my wish for you is that you can really embrace life fully, because it is a gift, whether you may be going through hard things, grief, loss, illness, like to really find the beauty, because I promise you it is there. There is always beauty to be found. Sending you so much love and aloha from Kaua'i. Bye.